the pain of the GoPro. It is a pain in the... Hey, BassGeek here. And on that note, let's go throw some big swim baits. Alright guys, we know even though it's the pre-spawn, fishing is a little tough in my area. Not necessarily the best time to be throwing big swim baits. When you're learning, you probably want to throw these things when the bite is really good. Not the way you want to treat an expensive swim bait right there. Alright, so one of the reasons why I've got this big swim bait out this morning is that I know in the spring, even on this particular lake, which isn't known for huge fish, that I have seen some major groups of fish come up to investigate this particular swim bait. So what I want to do right now is really just kind of go into search mode, just to see if I get any followers this morning, see if I can get any fish to come up and just look at it. And this bait is really going to tell me how active these bass are. Because the bull shad, guys, it isn't a glide bait. It's a bait that's really designed to be fished exactly like I'm fishing it. It's a bait that's designed, oh, and I got a tree. It's a bait that's designed to be fished fast, very fast. It's a bait for when bass are super active, they're really chasing, and you're looking to grab that one big fish. And just to be honest with you, I'm not seeing a lot of signs of activity down here, so probably we're gonna put this down for right now. But we caught something on it. Today, I feel like if we're going to get bit on a swim bait, it's probably going to be a slower swim bait, like the S-Waver. And that's, you know, the big swim bait game, you know, I'm no big swim bait guy. I mean, I throw swim baits a lot, but I generally throw the style of swim baits that, you know, tournament anglers are going to throw. And so, you know, for me, those style of swim baits is what I'm going to use predominantly 90% of the time. Now this is a smaller S-waver, and so I know these fish might be on more of a jerkbait pattern, and if that's the key, then we can really maybe get something going with these S-wavers. The S-wavers are really kind of like a jerkbait with the way you can twitch them, but you know, just but thus far, in a little area right here that I thought we might get a fish to show itself, we are not. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to change over to a jerkbait, and we're just going to cover some water real quick here until we get to what may be a more prime location. Well, there's one. I believe that is a little old spotted bass. Man, what a little fatty. Golly. What you been eating, son? Oh, he's been eating crawdads. Oh, you can really feel it. So I'm going to show you something. Now, I can't see, well, maybe a little tentacle down there, but you can't see anything in there. But notice how fat that little bass is. Now, he's been feeding. That's a largemouth. So one of the things you always want to do is feel their belly, and that is crunchy as can be in there. He has been eating crawdads. So that'll tell you a little something about maybe what's going on today, is that he is eating crawdads. So one of the things I'm going to tie on is actually a wobble head. Now, the great thing about a wobble head is that I can put a little bit of weight on it, and you know, we can actually move that bait a little faster, work it a little quicker, you know, especially if that you know, if that little fish is tipping us off, that maybe they're targeting crawdads. What we can do is we can get out maybe a ½ ounce, or what I'm going to start with actually is a little heavier, a 3/4 ounce. Now guys, something that I like, and I'm not sponsored by Strike King at all, I have no affiliation with them, but one of the things I like is their wobble heads. I'm going to tie on a little bug, and this is the Bass Munitions Grunt, and this is the watermelon red, so I'm going to go with that first because the water is a little dirty. But the great thing about this little head is that, and I can match my hook, which I'd like to have a 3/0 EWG, with my head. So the great thing about this setup is if they're eating crawdads, if they're eating crayfish, this will help me move and cover water more than a jig, more than a Texas rig. I can throw this out there and just slowly roll it on the bottom. You want to make sure for the depth that you're in that you have enough weight to keep it down and stay in contact with the bottom on this rig. Alright guys, I want to give you a quick rundown. So we fished the lower end of this lake. Man, there was no shad around. This lake is raising about 3 feet since the last time I was out here, which was probably 5 days ago, actually, 5 days ago. So, you know, the water temperature's raising. We were mid-50s, 51, 52. Water temps this morning was about the same when I got on here, but they are skyrocketing right now. They're 55, 56. As I get a little farther up into the river, the upper end of the lake. As you can see, it is a bluebird sky. There is barely a breeze blowing. You know, it's going to make for a tough day. We've got a very slight front moving through tonight, but for the most part, guys, this is going to be a high pressure, early spring sort of situation. Now, we've already got one in the boat, but we're just hitting different types of places, different types of rocks. We're trying to break down where and what these fish are doing. Oh, boys. There we go. Well, there's number 2. Boy, he's fat. On the wobblehead, just covering some ground. It has been a grind of a day today. Nice healthy fish though. As you can see, it was a tough day. You know, we threw a lot of stuff, guys. I'm still trying to figure out, you know, you say you want the tough days. This was definitely one of them. And I'm trying to figure out how to put together the tough days, how I kind of progress through the baits, what I'm thinking as I'm progressing through the different style of baits and the different ways to kind of fish during that time of year. This was a couple weeks ago. It was still, you know, pre-spawn. You can tell by the water temps that it was, you know, in the mid to upper 50 range. So not quite where I want that water temp to be, but like I said, I'm still trying to play around, figure out how to give you some good information even on the tough days, show you the things that I'm trying, showing the places that I'm fishing, how I'm breaking the lake down. And you know, some days it just really doesn't matter. It's just tough on a lake. You know, some days it's just tough. Anyways, questions and comments in the comment section below. You know I love to talk about fishing with you. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so you get those notifications when these videos come out. Guys, appreciate you watching. Appreciate you spending the time with BassGeek here on the channel. And you guys rock.